did not want us to be able to speak, but we will not be silenced. Sorry for the technical difficulties there, but we are back. Look, we're not professionals here. We're not getting paid to do this. We're all learning as we go, and I believe we have it figured out here. As I was saying, I'm Dancing Buffalo here with Jacob today. We've got a show match between Mississippi State's Valorant Black and Valorant White team. Jacob, why don't you tell us a little bit about Valorant Black?
So Valorant Black. I play on Valorant Black, so there's gonna be a little tiny weensy bit of bias here. But I'm gonna start with Kevin. Otherwise, I mean, I think you could tell based off of his in-game name who Kevin is. He generally plays more flex, mixture of Omen and Breach. Played most of last semester. Enjoys playing chess. Really went off in the last game. Kind of top fragged, kind of carried. So we'll see if he can do it again today. Panda's next up. Panda, veteran egoist, biggest ego player in here. Also plays League, so there goes that.
We won't hold it against him.
Yeah, we won't hold it against him. Generally plays Duelist. Performs best when put on an op on defense. We'll see if he can do that here today. Rob Solis, my goat. Generally a CS player, pretty new to Valorant. His CS mechanics, very, very good. So watch out for him to make some big impact plays, but also run into a few walls there. Next up we got Dank Muffin. We got Will. He mainly plays Initiator, big Gecko fan. Big Gecko fan there. Also played CS, so lots of CS players here. Made the transition over to Valorant or do it in their free time. Basically just a Gecko crutch. 49 plants over like 3 or 4 matches there. Goes pretty hard. Alex, or Yusk, I'm not, honestly, don't know how to say his name correctly. Mainly the in-game IGL, calls most of the plays. Generally pretty flexible, kind of plays more of a fill role. I think today he's going to be playing Sentinel. So, yeah, that's mainly the B team there. They're pretty cracked, I won't lie. We'll see what happens.
Look, just only a little biased. But do not let the Valorant Black team overshadow our Valorant White team in Clover, Nonstop, Rax, Wizard Hat, and Rags. That's going to be our 5 here today. Clover's going to be on that Duelist, is the captain of this Valorant White team, but is also new to Valorant. Plays entry, can hit some clips if need be, but also the mechanical skill is what we're going to be looking for out of Clover. Then you have Nonstop, the IGL controller player, known for that Viper. The utility has been a huge impact. You know, been watching some VCT action, has those lineups, and also has the mechanical skill to fall back on. Next is Rack with also going to be playing controller, also new to Valorant esports, can be really aggressive, but does know when to take a step back and play with the team. Wizard Hat on the initiator role, new to Valorant, but has been playing CS for a while. Also loves to use that util. And then bringing up the 5th is Rags on that Sentinel role. New to Valorant, but if Valorant Black has the Echo crutch, then Rags is the Cypher crutch for the C team. But that is our roster. Obviously, we will see more with these individuals once we get into the lobby. And as soon as we are ready to get into the lobby, I know that these players are ripping and ready to go. They've been excited about this for a few weeks now, and we are excited to bring the action to you all. Welcome back. We are just about ready to hop into this map 1 here. Like I said, I'm Dancing Buffalo here with Jacob. We've been excited for this show match for a few weeks now, and we are excited to bring you into the action. Jacob, tell me what do you expect? I know you said you're a little bit biased towards Valorant Black, but I'm expecting a good showcase between these two teams here.
I expect this to be kind of like a rivalry matchup. I'm looking forward to it. Valorant White does have some cracked players. They do tend to make some big plays. I have watched before. I'm hitting the VODs, so we'll see. I mean, they do make big plays. They do have jaw-dropping rounds. So I think White will throw back Black for a little bit of a loop here. I think there's a good chance Black goes in a little overconfident and they'll get humbled at least in this first map here.
And we have seen that before. We had a show match last semester where Valorant Maroon, the A team, did play against that Valorant Black roster, and it was a back and forth for quite a few rounds. And don't be alarmed if you are missing our Valorant Maroon team. They actually will be playing later on, and we're going to have a double feature for you all. We will be able to spectate the Maroon match at 8:30, so it'll be a little bit later on tonight, but we're going to have that covered for you. We are locked in. It is Valorant night on this Monday night, and we are so excited to be able to bring that to you. I personally, I'll keep it a stack. I'll be honest. I've been out of the server for quite a while when it comes to Valorant, but I'm excited to get back into it, and I want to see if tonight is going to make me reinstall.
I hope it will. This should be an entertaining match. This should be fun. So I do hope this gives people the chance to see that, you know, Valorant esports is accessible for everybody, no matter the skill level. So this should be a fun match.
Look, if nothing else, you can always be like me and just be a Spike Rush player and just have fun with power-ups. You don't have to be sweaty. You don't even have to have comms on. But these players are definitely going to have their comms on. The comms are going to be flowing. The kills are going to be flowing. And I am so ready. We actually have been told that both of these teams agreed to knife fight on the pistol. So, knife fighting on the pistol to determine bragging rights. I mean, we already have the the attack and defender side, but just a little extra for you guys here.
Yeah, I mean, knife fights are always fun. It'll come down, the winner of the round will mainly be decided by util. We'll determine what they decide to do. We'll see if they go gentlemen, they say no util, they just go to a site and they just knife fight, or if they play it like a full round, just, you know, without pistols. We'll see. Raze has been recently pretty strong in the meta. Her grenades will be a massive boost on a pistol round or on a knife fight round there. So Teo, the newest agent, also a big factor when it comes to knife fight rounds. Big damage can happen there with his rockets.
30 seconds
Speaking of Teo, the newest agent on the roster, I'm really excited to see what Teo's going to bring into these rosters if the selection is made to go with him. I know that Vise, being the most recent before, Teo did a lot of, like, shook it up a little bit, but definitely looking to see some Teo action here. I will say, again, me personally, I still like playing Sage. Call it what you will. Keep me in 2020, 2021. But I know that a lot of these initiators have seen a lot of action in the past few agent releases.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. I mean, Sage is not an outdated pick, honestly. She's been pretty constant over the years. I mean, there's always that good wall across on B on Icebox there that you can do. There's always that option there with Sage. Initiators have gotten stronger recently. I think we're generally seeing more dual initiator comps in pro play here. Solely based off the fact that initiator util is really valuable for information. And just valuable for getting that duelist on the site. About a year ago, the meta generally shifted more towards a dive heavy comp with those duelists. So I'm excited to see what happens if we get multiple initiators, multiple duelists that could throw a wrench in things for both teams, depending on what comp they decide to play there.
Yeah, and like I almost wonder at times, right? Like if you do keep up with the VCT and you're watching some of the highest level play at like in these lands and in these tournaments and in these leagues, like how much of that translate to the collegiate level? Not that there's that big of a drop off in skill level, but I do think there is a tendency to see different comps at a collegiate level or at a tier 2 level than in that tier 1 level. I think there is a lot of influence there, but I have seen a lot of, like, sometimes you can see more of the crutch picks and the one tricks able to make a statement in the collegiate scene that you don't see as much in the VCT.
Yeah, definitely. If that's definitely the case, I mean, when we're looking at VCT, we look at the amount of coordination those teams have. If you look at their site hits, it just genuinely, you can see a lot more coordination. That does obviously impact the picks there. Generally, in these lower elo lobbies, you don't really see a bunch of KO being picked, but he does make multiple appearances in those higher levels because his flashes require a good chunk of coordination, and it makes it harder for the for these teams to play these rounds out if they don't have as much coordination, if they don't get as much info off that util as they should be able to. But it definitely does affect this lower level of collegiate play, because there are just some maps where the best comp is just the one they run in VCT and the one you need to run in ranked if you want to have the best chance at winning.
Yeah, I think a very early evidence of that was Ascent. When Ascent first came into the rotation, it was seen in almost every single map pool, and it took one or two outliers in the VCT to decide to play just one of the new maps, one of the like unusual, like out of the ordinary, out of the rotation maps, to start banning Ascent to really get use and get the map pool diversified, as well as your agent selection diversified. But we've made it through the knife round. Black, Mississippi State Valorant Black won the knife round, and now we're into these gun rounds, and we will have to see. There's a little extra money being made from the knives, but we will have to kind of see if the extra money flows into the force ups, or if it's more of the Spectre early rounds, the light armor, and just some util buys.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see. It does appear as though White won the anti-eco, so it is 1-1 currently, with some good fights happening in the back of site there. So, yeah, that's kind of the gist of things right now.
As we see on the scoreboard here, Panda already with 4 kills on the board, leading the way in the lobby. Panda, no stranger to top fragging for his team. Getting a lot of information and a lot of kills is kind of his bread and butter. And with the execute coming through out onto this B side here, we'll have to see if MSU White is able to get any defense mounted here.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see. It does look like they are playing this bonus out. It does look like Black forced up in an attempt to get these opening rounds secured. Wizard had coming through mid here on the sky. We'll see. I mean, right now it is a 5v1. This would be an extremely difficult round to win, depending on what happens. Ooh, flash kill.
So another round there for MSU Black, and taking the 2-1 round advantage. Alrighty, now we can try to get a little more up to date on our calls and casts.
Yeah, we won't be 2 rounds delayed here. So, why don't you take it away?
Alrighty, stepping into our 5th round, we do see nonstop on that Echo. A lot of presence is going to be held outside of A. Defense is split. They are leaning and posturing towards A, so they've made the right call, but not many guns by way. We'll have to see if the util is able to do a lot. Nonstop avoiding getting spammed out, but is still tucked away, full HP, no shields to his name, is stunned out and forced out. The smoke, the stun, the flash, the goo, everything it took to get Panda gets the kill, but Rax follows through, hiding into the smoke. The Sheriff's good for 1, but Dank, Muffin, and Panda trade through. Clove has been a staple for these Mississippi State rosters, and EUSD with the Vandal takes down Wizard Hat. Spike is down, and it's just Rags left. Has been called out, and Solace with the Vandal. 1 tap's not enough. Is down to 1 HP, however. But if you are this Cypher on defense, you have to make that decision. It's going to be a very tall task to get that defuse, not able to make it happen, and just like that, it's 4 rounds to 1 for Mississippi State Black.
I think what we saw there was just a good let's all collapse on the site after getting some util there. Great util usage to clear out that rat angle, especially considering we're running an anti-eco here. And we'll see what happens as we go into this next round. They are heavy stacking A. They're not a big mid presence. We're gonna send the Sky over mid. But we'll see what happens this round. We'll see. We'll just see.
And again, looks like the call this round for the attacking team is going to be posturing towards mid. We saw a lot of fights taking place mid the last time we were able to cast some Valorant here, especially on this map. Mid can be very powerful. If you have that mid control, then you can kind of make the decision which site you would like to move towards. You kind of have that 2-manned front. And it's a lot easier to collapse onto site, kind of pincer any of the defenders that are left on it. But we see a couple of ult orbs picked up. We do see 7 ultimates online in the server at the moment. But while all is said and done, time ticking down, but B was left open from your defenders. And with it being left open, the attacking side is going to get it out. Dank Muffin going to use Little Buddy to hit that spike plant down. Panda with the run and gun takes down Rags. Didn't quite have the crosshair placement there. And even with the vulnerability, no one going down for Mississippi State Black. Clover playing the Jet, creeping out with the team. Wizard Butt goes down, and the blind from that Echo util coming through again. The trades, though. Rax, good for 2. We do see the Clove ult coming through to secure the round. Not needed, however. And just like that, it's another round for Mississippi State Black, extending their lead to 4.
I think that was just a good example of being patient. I mean, they felt out mid there. They grabbed that ult orb. They didn't need the Vise ult. Actually, I don't think she had it, so that's my apologies there. 4 ults online. They did use that Clove ult last round. It did drag attention away, so that was definitely a good idea. Just looks like a standard A execute here. We're just gonna 5-man main, and we'll see what happens.
Running gun, we do see the smoke come through nonstop with that Phantom. A couple of extra bullets in the magazines, good for 2 before Solace on that ISO is able to trade out. But this is the first main advantage we've seen for MSU White in quite a few rounds here. We'll have to see if they're able to make use of it. But Mississippi State Black, you called it, a little bit of a little confidence coming into this one, and they're deciding to stick through it. You know, they're still holding here. Now they're slowly making their way back towards mid, not wanting to walk into the meat grinder of multiple MSU White defenders. However, MSU Clover taking a lot of space here mid, has a lot of information, and Mississippi State Black doubling back on it. The jump peek there from Solace is going to spot out Clover, and does take down Rags. I think the call was made to try to help double up with the Jet, but goes through. Jet dashes into the wall, not able to get out of dodge, and does go down. Solace is good for 3 on the round. And off of those 3 kills, the main advantage is back on the way of MSU Black. The last 30-second call to swing all the way across the map back over to B. Wizard Hat in this Stinger is good to do a little bit of distracting. Rax is good for one, gonna pop the ult and come back. The Stinger at range, however. The reload's going to give the position away. You do have the swing, but not the damage from the gun. Panda takes down another. And 6-1 here. A fairly sizable performance from your MSU Black team on this attack half.
I liked what White did there in an attempt to get that round. They did have that man advantage there. It was a good idea of them to back up. Unfortunately, I think the over-aggression mid cost them a little bit, especially the Cypher running up mid there. I don't mind the play. I think it was risky, and had it worked, I think it would have been a much different round there.
Yeah, I like the idea, right? Like, you want the 2-man, you take the 2-on-1 there, you have different sight lines, so it's harder to get doubled up. But timing not quite there. We do see the Echo ult invested as well as the Breach ult to try to stop or at least counter the ult for ult here. Vize's ult coming out as well. That's Steel Garden. Beautiful name for a dangerous ult, hiding in the smoke. Does get forced out, but isn't seen. Thresh comes through again and is detained. That's a free kill for non-stop. Even the odds at 3 players apiece here, but all the while, Spike is down and ticking. The jet dash into the smoke, but is sought out by Kevin coming through with the breach. And now, Nonstop has been sought out, but is able to win the gunfight. Kevin, good for one onto Rax. Not expecting the quick follow-up onto the second. Thresh does get the detain, but there's one more on the site. Nonstop takes down Solace. 1-on-1, you don't have the time. The detain is done, and I don't know if this one's gonna come through. You stick it just to see. Knows he's gonna go down, hops off of it, even in the post-mortem clove smoke, not doing enough. And even though that was a lot stronger of a round from your MSU White team, it is still 7-1 here.
And the advantage for Black there is they drew out the ults, right? They got that Gecko ult. They got that Gecko ult out. That was some good aim by Nonstop. I'll give him. That was some great mechanics there. Good isolation of fights. Very good at isolating those fights there. Isolating the breach, then isolating the ISO through the play there. So I did really like that round from White. Let's just see if they can keep it going here on this next defense round.
And if you look in your mini map again, Mississippi State Black posturing over towards that ace site. The Marshall from Nonstop takes down Solace. That's the one lurk, and that is an early main advantage on your defense here. Wizard Hat sticking with the Stinger. Not a lot of money coming from the Aussie of Sky, and that one shot is all it takes, and it is immediately called. There's the flash out and the execute out onto side. It's only going to be 3 men, though, as one was left out mid to make sure there was no aggression from this defense. Great crosshair placement from Rax. Takes down one, finds a second, takes Dank Muffin off the headshot, has the overheal as well, takes down the Vise utility, at least one, swings through the slow, the overheal doing a little bit, but Rags is classic, able to finish EU down. Now it's a 3v1 here, and at this point you're spamming through that smoke, wanting to just stop. If you're Panda, you're wanting to just hesitate on the defuse. Does take down Nonstop, however, but the Thrifty comes through, and that's a second round for MSU White here.
Good round by MSU White there. Great shots by Rax to even that out there. Unfortunately for White with a good eco buff there. Black still snowballing that economy. If they win this next round, I mean, that economy is going to be pretty strong there. MSU Black historically pretty good on this map on both attack and defense. So we'll have to see if they can keep it going or if this round was enough to give that edge to White.
Yeah, now that White has that full economy, you really want that next round. You want to save as many rifles going into the next as you can. Oh, we see Solace popping through with the ISO ult. It's the 1v1 and does take down Rags, but Clover takes down EUSC on the other end. So the ISO ult comes through and utilized, and Solace again, great mechanical skill there, not allowing the MSU White team to keep that even man numbers up. And now it's 4v3. Spike has gone down yet again, and Solace continuing. That's 3 on the round before Rax takes him down. Clover follows up as well. We've evened it up at 2 here, and if nothing else, MSU White has proven they are not scared to take these gunfights. 1v1, not expecting the swing through the smoke, however, and Panda is able to pick up, I believe that's his 17th in 10 rounds.
Yeah, definitely a good execute there. The ISO ult, one of the main advantages of ISO ulting, especially the Cypher there, is the fact that you are, your util is not online when you're in that ISO ult. It's the same effect as a KO knife. I'm not sure what it's called currently, I'll be so real with you. Yeah. So there's that. Then just immediate execute. There was a good trade that came out initially to keep that 4v4, but once that bomb is down, I mean, the defenders are just playing time, and it makes it hard to win that round there.
Early posturing over towards A. We do see a bit of a broken buy from MSU White. 1 Phantom on the board, a Bulldog in the hands of Rags, and only a scrap of armor between the players. And if you're MSU Black here, you have the economy to make it through full buys for the rest of the time. Rax caught with utility in hand, hits a headshot, but with the classic, it's not quite enough. Is going to invest that ult, but not able to make it back around the corner, however. Clover turns from the flash and is caught between a rock and a hard place as his teammate Nonstop goes down. Now playing slow here, looking for that over aggression. Doesn't have the timing, but does find the kill. Not anticipating Yusk, however, and does go down. Rags down to 9 HP. Is able to upgrade to the Vandal, but 1 shot from Panda, and the upgrade was for no avail. That'll take us to the last round of the first half here, and it's been a dominative first half from MSU Black.
I think that was, again, they're sticking to what they know. They've had those 2 sketchy rounds where it kind of was a close round. I mean, Panda did clutch up in the round before this one, so they are still winning these rounds, but not as comfortably as they might hope to. So they kind of went back to what they knew. The Vise util in the back there was very important, knowing that Cypher is coming around, because I mean, as soon as you eliminate Clover there, you've just got to know where this one person is, and the chance of him killing 3, I mean, it's just very low there.
Rax able to take down Solace, some rare whiffs from there. Nonstop takes down Yusk as well as Panda trades out, so another man advantage for MSU White. Panda, however, not satisfied, takes down Clover as well, and now MSU Rags is sneaking around behind this Mississippi State Black team as the execute comes out onto B. 30 HP on Rags, takes a couple of pop shots, but it's not enough. Panda's Clove has found 3 more in this round. Rags creeping around, but Kevin anticipating, and now it's all up to Wizard Hat. Not hit by the Thresh, so that is a small token to look for. Does take down Panda, but you do see Panda's ult utilized. Last round of the half, why not? You do see the blind, is able to get the blind and makes it up 2, but Dank buffing on this off angle here. Wizard Pat caught between a rock and a hard place, does allow Panda to go down off the ult, but spamming through the smoke before it goes down. Kevin gets the final round here, and Panda with 22 kills in the first half, the standout.
And there we saw from the players there in the chat. I mean, we had the good half comms from both sides. So they are going to knife fight here again. We'll see what happens there. It should be pretty entertaining. Let me talk about that last round real quick. We did just see Panda utilizing that ult. I mean, the ult lasts 8 seconds, and that just buys time, right? It forces that player to sit back. It forced Wizard Dad to sit back there. So good invention of the ult. We're gonna see what the strategy is here on this attack round, from both teams with only these knives. So
yeah,
Panda pulling out a classic there.
Yeah, there was a little conversation of whether some pistols should be allowed here, but the knives are invested. Yuskir with the scythe, I believe that's a little bit of a reach advantage, but Rax able to find the first kill as Kevin trades onto Rag. Now Panda as well with the right click, left click. That's your combo right there. Spike has gone down. Someone didn't read the rule book. And Solace finds on Clover. Nonstop had the corner, gets one, not able to get another. And it's Wizard Hat running for their life. I believe Wizard Hat was the one who did indeed plant the spike. So out of the team fight, last one to go down. However, the defenders in MSU Black able to take the round. They keep 3 alive, a little extra money from those knives and the defuse. You gave them a little bit of money as well, so you do get about, I think it's 400 credits for the spike plant. We'll have to see what MSU White is able to use with that going into this attack half here. A tall task for MSU White, but they're not out of it yet.
They are making the smart decision to force up here. They are down, so we're gonna try to surprise the defenders with this. The defenders going with a relatively tame setup here, just a 2-1-2. And yeah, do want to touch on that scythe. In Valorant, the scythe is generally, it looks as though it would have a longer reach. It unfortunately does not, because we can't have the game be pay to win, you know. So just spend $900 on the game. You aren't allowed to. You aren't allowed to.
Hitboxes are all the same.
Win.
Skins do not equal wins in this. In fact, there are some skins that may actually give you a hindrance, depending on how the crosshair looks and how the barrels obstruct your vision. But we don't have to worry about that here. Solace on the pistol took a bit of chip damage, but was able to fall away. And it looks like the attackers in MSU White have decided to pause things here. Stopping. It looks like they're trying to play off the Cypher cam, see if they can get any information. There's no one coming through on the flank as of yet, but they're down to 40 seconds here. The blind came through, the counter util being invested. There are smokes all over, and Kevin in the Spectre is able to take down Nonstop. The spike does go down, however, as another flashpoint comes through across the box. And outside of all of this smoke, Kevin is swinging through on the reload, and the pistols and Spectre are coming through. However, Rax able to pick up 2 of their own, but they fell off the site. And the spike was able to be defused. It is match point here on map 1.
Yeah, so just a typical retake there from the defenders. We've got I mean, there was great stun across site there. I do want to shout out Panda here. 26-6 with 5 assists is pretty impressive. Kevin also with 9, definitely playing that initiator role well. Kevin did stun, I think, 3 there on site. So we'll have to see what MSU White decides to do here. They did decide to force up again. In my opinion, the correct play. So we'll see if they can make it worth it and if they can stay in this game a little bit longer.
And not 10 seconds into the round, Solace goes down, maybe a little overzealous there. So Mississippi State White, they have a tall mountain to climb, but they get the opening 2, couldn't get the 3rd, but it is traded out from Wizard Hat, and now it's a 4-2 main advantage. Panda also already tagged down low, Use giving the position away, but denying the plant. Now, by himself for the moment, Panda not quite able to get back there, triggered by the shear and the blind, but still able to isolate Nonstop and use the utility to delay the rest of MSU White. The spike still has not gone down, however, turning away. Panda gets blind, but Yusk is now on an island for a moment. Wizard Hat deciding not to take the peek and instead off that op that is up in heaven on the back of the site here, creeping around. Spike does go down, but Yusk takes down Rags, and just like that, it's a 2v2. The health lead is still for MSU White. A huge flick from Panda, however, and just like that, the main advantage is gone. Wizard Hat definitely going to be hiding in the smoke, caught with a blind in hand, not able to get it out in time. The defuse comes through, and that's going to be map 1, the way of MSU Black.
Textbook round there. I mean, I thought after those opening picks, MSU White had that secured. We'll see what happens in this next match, but I assumed Panda was going to save that up. I thought there was no way for Black to win that round. Again, Panda with an absolutely crazy scoreline there. 27 kills, 6 deaths, and 6 assists with 432 average combat score. One of those deaths at least coming off the back of him just dying to the ult there. Otherwise, you know, Dank Muffin with 11 plants. Pretty impressive performance there. Gecko doing well there. I think MSU White showed some promise. They had some good ideas. I hope they can carry it into this next game, which I'm pretty sure is their map pick. And shock Black with a pretty big win there and take us to map 3.
Yeah, Panda coming out, the egoist putting on a show and showing why. We're going to have a short intermission here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes with map 2. Welcome back. We appreciate your patience. The next map is Pearl. MSU White's map pick, and they're going to be starting on the attack non-stop. Going to be channeling the Viper for this one. We'll have to see if MSU Black decides to change anything up. Again, I'm Dancing Buffalo here with Jacob. And Jacob, what can we expect? What changes or adjustments do you think these teams made in our short intermission?
So, I mean, I think White had some good ideas. I hope they stick to them. I think White's biggest drawback of that game was maybe playing a little over aggressive once they got the pick there. We'll see if they rein it back in or if they ramp up the aggression. You know, surprise factor there. As we're going in this game, we have a Viper, Cypher, ISO, Sky, and Omen on the attack. And then for the defense, we have a Cypher, a Teo, a Sky, and an Omen. So we'll see how those play together with each other. Clover playing that ISO, good pick. It is his comfort pick. I do know him. It is his comfort pick. I think he's just looking to get some of his confidence back. So we'll see. I do like the ISO pick on this map, especially with these long-range angles, and especially with that threat of Panda on an Op, considering we're starting on defense. Economy managed right. Op is possible within the 3rd or the 4th round. That is considered that the duelist buys almost no util. We do see a Teo pick here, which is a good pick in my opinion. Teo is great on this map, especially with back hauls on that B side there with those ratty angles on A that you can spray through. Alex or Yuski is very, very good on this map at defending B site with that Cypher. So we'll have to see what they do here. It looks like we're starting with a pretty standard B execute. Very, very, very normal for this map. So as we get into this, we'll see what happens.
We will say and let y'all know we knife 1st and 13th round of map 1. We are shortying round 1 and round 13 here. So everyone's thundering down the speedway. They're going to plant the spike to let everyone know where they are. And now the shorties are going to run galore. But the util coming through. Dank Muffin does go down after using that artillery. And ability usage, why not? Panda playing a little behind. Does save one of those shots, still going for the reload far enough away. Not going to take as much damage. Wizard Hat takes one and trades. Playing around this wall. Panda's got the right idea. Takes down another. It's a 2v1. It's just Rax. Decided to swap guns instead of go for the reload, but the one he picked up was out of shells as well. And Panda with a couple of kills there off the Mimi round 1, plus the defuse is going to be some extra credits to build towards that op.
Yeah, I mean, Panda playing great on that long angle, just holding that distance, forcing the attackers to get impatient there and run towards them. And that did net him 2 kills there, especially with backstabbing that Viper and that direct kill onto that ISO. We'll have to see what White decides to do in this round. It doesn't seem like they bought this round, so we'll see. That they just seem to be echoing it. We do have that Cypher set up A, so that could be dangerous. We also have that initial Viper wall, so let's play ball.
Yeah, looks like a standard A stack. We do have Viper creeping down mid here, and Sky wasn't able to pop out and see that. So Nonstop actually made it through. We'll have to see if Sky doesn't quite check the corner. They're sitting right next to each other and does get found out. Neither one has any peripheral vision, but Solace is the one to look left first. And with that pick, it looks like they're leaving Clover on an island. And the 3 other members of MSU White scared of being pushed from behind. They see nothing's coming through spawn, but as they step through mid here, Solace with the Spectre in this off angle could do a lot of damage if they are not found out. Looks like Rack is going to clear it. They do get the kill. No one goes down. So Solace does go down. Evens things back up. Damage done to Cypher. but the man advantage is equal. Panda close range with this Stinger. Yet again, another opportunity to do a lot of damage. The headshot come through, does get 2. Left with the shorty in hand, and not going to do it from that range when you backdraft. But Wizard Hat moves up. Clover also finds out Kevin. So after all said and done, we're still evened up at 2-2 here. Dank Muffin, however, playing close, not able to track down Wizard Hat, who had upgraded the gun. And just like that, the Splant is through with 4 seconds to spare. MSU White does have the man advantage, looking eerily similar to the second round of map 1, where they were able to get that anti-eco use. However, the side straight from Wizard Hat, great timing, able to keep their life, gets 3 kills, some free gun upgrades to Spectres, and we're back even at 1.
Yeah, I mean that was a classic anti-eco round. Just wait for the pick. They did get that first blood. That was a funny interaction there. But after that, they just played that well. I mean, just played together, played as a team. Abused the fact that they had those guns, and unfortunate for Panda to pull out that shorty, but this does give MSU White a chance back into this series with an early round 1 win. We'll see if this execute gets broken up by the Cypher util, but
yeah,
it's anybody's game right now.
One of the Omen smokes invested, that ISO utility utilized as well to push them off that angle. Used with a lot of information, not just with the ability usage, but also the camera spotting out a couple. The jump peek from Rags here with the counter smoke coming through. So with that counter smoke, gonna be backing away here. You got a little bit out. They were able to pull 1 Omen smoke out, if nothing else. Only invested in 1, as we see here, is Kevin. So 25 seconds left as the rotation was called, and now they're making their way through mid, making a lot of noise. However, there is the other smoke that is utilized. Excuse me, did invest in 2. So 18 seconds left on an Omen smoke, but a lot of information and room taken by MSU White, but they are a little bit split. However, the kills are still coming through. 5-3 man advantage here. That artillery usage coming through does stop the plant momentarily. Rax investing the smoke as the 2 SMGs do take down Kevin. Use goes down as well, not able to find the kill, and it is very close to being a flaw here, and is the headshot from Dank Muffin not enough on that classic. And for MSU White, that is all you could ask for. Not a player goes down. You keep all of the rifles that you invested in, and you have a little bit of money playing in here to go ahead. Now you just have to play into a full buy from MSU Black, including but not limited to that op on Panda.
Yeah, definitely a textbook bonus round there. Definitely good to keep all of those rifles online, and make sure they have footing into this round. As we go on to round 4, I mean, this does look to be swaying towards the side of MSU White. We'll see if this op from Panda can do anything for him here.
Holding down that B position. The only problem is all of the action is over on mid and A. Solace does get the opener. So with rifles in hand, MSU Black has the man advantage as well. Holding through double doors here. MSU Rags had the shot, had the sight, not able to find the kill. That's 2 for Solace, able to escape with her life as well. MSU White, a little out of position here, thought about aggressing into it, is able to dodge the Skydog. Kevin, however, now in the 1v1. Thinking about the paranoia. The bird goes through as well, not blinded by either. Is vulnerable, decides to not peek into it, does have the crossfire with Solace if anyone does push through that smoke, and it looks like Rags is thinking about it. But for MSU White, all 3 players are grouped up here in mid, but with 30 seconds left, it looks like the Sky ult, the Seekers are going to be invested. They know at least 1 is on site. Rags has the off handle and takes down Solace, who's half HP. That's able to get 1 back. They now know that Tejo is behind them, but Kevin pinches through. Clover is able to take down Dank Muffin. 3v2, you don't have time here. You spent too much time mid. You got to get out onto the side. You get 1 kill. Spike plant is going to be very close here.
Standing.
Not quite able to go down in time, and Yusk able to make the most of it. Hundreds of seconds was the difference in getting that spike down, and then once it didn't, you were triggered with the tripwire, and Yusk playing in that little default cellar behind the half wall, able to take down both remaining attackers post-round. So, MSU Black, they won very convincingly in map 1, and now with a little bit of a broken economy here, we see they're investing into some rifles, some half armor, but for MSU White, you're going to have to be a little scrappy for the next round or two to try to bring something back here. Panda
Yeah,
with
definitely.
That,
I mean,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No you, no me, no you. Panda with that op doesn't hit the first shot as they flood out. They made the right call. We see the ISO coming through. This could be best case scenario. Does crack the shield. The walls go down, and that is the op out of the way. Great decision from Clover there to take down Panda, who only had the op in hand. But as they get out onto the site, Yusk is already making their way up. Nonstop, not quite able to find the shots there on the crouch under the staircase. Solace is free of the dog as well. So numbers still on the way of MSU White for the moment, but Wizard Hat does go down to Kevin. Things are even. Yusk not anymore. Yusk takes down Clover, and now Rax by himself up close. Is able to take down Solace with a nice headshot, however, and now it's a 2v2. Rax is good for another. Does have the paranoia, is able to blind Yusk, and that's going to buy him some time. Does get the reload off. You still have the 2v1 here. Spike is planted for that long position, and it looks like the call from Yusk is made. Going to grab that op and save it. Toss it back over to Panda. Both players for MSU White keeping Vandals as well, and all in all, MSU White wins the round, but still that much closer to getting back into things.
Yeah, definitely a good round there. Getting that op out of the way early was definitely good there. This ISO playing perfectly to counter that. It's good to see Clover on a comfortable pick, you know, come into his own. I think currently 8-3, something like that. So we'll see as this continues to develop. If Panda can continue to get this op to do something, it does seem like the ops on the opposite side of the map, it seems like MSU White making the right play here to go for A. Still going to shield up, and right now, it's 2-3. It's still anybody's game.
Shielded up on the swing. Didn't want to take that op shot if it didn't have to, but the op isn't here. However, Panda's creeped all the way around to the attacker side spawn and will be behind. But the attackers flooding out onto side here, coming into the meat grinder. Kevin able to take down Nonstop behind the Omen smoke, and we see the artillery from Tejo just waiting for the execution. Wallace on the dog, not able to find much. The execution comes through onto that artillery. Kevin good for a second. Phantom ringing true here. Wizard Hat fades back, good for 2. Evens things back up here, but now they have to worry about Panda behind on that op. The call is made to W key through. Now the man advantage for MSU White. Panda a little overzealous on that op, does get overwhelmed, and now with 35 seconds, looks like the call has been made to swing around, and now it's a race to A. Solace is going to beat him back there. So now with 30 seconds, you have to make a decision if you're MSU White. Do you double back? And if you do, you're coming right into the Tejo. And it looks like Tejo and Dank Muffin may have sniffed it out. Deciding to walk past. Now with 15 seconds, they're going to have to they have to go B here. They're going to have to run through it. Rags had the right call, but not able to find the kills onto Dank Muffin. The artillery going to be used again to stop this plant. The plant does go down. Healed back up with Sky behind as well. Dank goes down to Clover. The Seeker finds the last. They know Solace is right here off the shots. 2-1. Dog goes down. They can play this angle here. They're playing very far off site, but instead of wrapping around, Solace is taking the fight. 2-1 here. Knows that he's probably going to be in the crossfire. Clover, maybe not quite expecting it, does get vulnerable as well, and the vulnerable was all they needed. Wizard Hat good for 3 on the round, all coming off site. And now MSU White with a 4-2 round lead.
we saw the play there to go mid to back up off of that. The kill off the op there is partially what prompted that. The play to not rotate A, that's a play I like to see. It was a confident play. They stay there, they wait it out. They hear Dank Muffin run up, so they get the plant down and they win the round. It's that simple.
Now, with a little bit of a lead here, a little bit of a cushion, so to speak, we see Panda with the Stinger does get caught out with the tripwire. So even though trying to make an early play in a flank, we also see, if you look at the minimap, MSU Black has left A completely open, trying to take as much information and position as they can on this map. Yuska's already inside attacker spawn, and now for MSU White, they are stuck out in B long. They have 2 covering their flank, but the other 3 have been halted by an Omen smoke. Now we'll have to see the stealth drone, how much information it gets. We do see it does suppress 2, sees a couple of more, however. However, it looks like MSU Black is content to just hold this position. This is something we haven't seen too much of them. They're normally W-keying into these gunfights, but holding position here, knowing that they have MSU White surrounded. As they hear the steps, the sky flashes come through to counter one another. Dank Muffin playing off the utility down to 30 HP, but not peeking with the Spectre. Hollis and that Sheriff, it comes through. The kills are coming through. The Stinger from Kevin takes down 2 and halts the plant. Does get down with the running gun, but Panda from behind, the long-range classic, able to take down Rag. Plant does come through, but the numbers are through for MSU Black. They're going to grab those weapons and get the upgrades. And when all is said and done, the last man standing was Panda. Kate started the round off with a Stinger and a classic. Is going to end with a Vandal and the defuse, bringing MSU Black to within 1.
Yeah, we saw a really patient pinch there. They waited for the play to develop. They kept them long. They isolated them long with that smoke. Just saw a really patient play develop. Early break of that Cypher trip. Cypher swings, clears it, sees nobody. They just take their time. I think they sat there for about 45 seconds. And then once all of the craziness happened on site, they use that, they abuse it, they come in behind, and they get the pinch done. So, textbook round, and let's see if they can continue it in this one.
The aggression from Panda is punished, doesn't have the teammates out in time to follow up, does eventually come through, however. They had 3 men sitting outside of mid, and the trigger on the trap wire, the LMG, the Ares comes through for Yusk and is just ripping through this half wall, is able to hide behind his own cyber cages. Finds 2 of their own. Spike does go down, and the Viper's Pit invested as well. Nonstop having to play defense, falls back, and Kevin's aggression is enough. The Omen with the Phantom takes down the last 2 attackers and evens things up. So we see just in those 2 plays, 2 rounds there, MSU Black, when they need to, they're able to slow the pace down and be patient. But when MSU White tries to speed up the pace, they are able to match it and then some.
Yeah, definitely. We see the Cypher util there playing a big role. Obviously with that Ares, the little bit of a lighter buy with that with the Ares there. Obviously cost them about 1,600 credits. We see that Cypher util playing a massive role in securing the round for MSU Black. We'll see if they can continue to control the pace, or if White can take the control of the pace back.
You called the pace. It looks like Dank Muffin with the opener again. A lot of presence for MSU White in mid. They have it for free. But still, losing that opener, and now you're stuck at top mid. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I heard the sound of an op from Panda. So it looks like we're swinging back around. MSU White now going to make the decision to pull back. A little bit of utility was invested from MSU Black, but just as much from MSU White. Still have mid control for the moment, but Solace is here. That blind is going to let him know there's at least 1 in mid. not taking the fight through the double doors, but you know they're ready and waiting. MSU Rax may just decide to peek this with his face, decides better of it. Now swinging back into Wizard Hat, getting Kevin, immediately popping the Seekers. We're seeing one to the left, one to the right out onto site.
30 seconds left.
Smoke's coming through, but this Cypher ult also compromising the enemies, triggering trap wires. The Cypher util, you commented on it, doing so much here. Alted the halting the plant for the moment. Dang Muffin 1 HP, and so is Use, but that's not stopping them from fighting with the kills. Armageddon came through, displaced a little bit, but Rags with this off angle is good for one, nonstop good for another. Panda popping the knives, however. A lot being invested into this round from MSU Black. Spike still ticking down, the knives coming through, but nonstop and Wizard Hat taking down the defenders and able to bring the lead back to MSU White. This has been a back and forth first half, but for almost to all of it, MSU White's been on top.
Yeah. If we look at the game plan there, I mean, they sniffed out the op, they found it, and then just played around it. I mean, they controlled the pace there, right? They slowed it down, and once they slow it down, Black tends to get a little antsy, and swing, and they get the pick off of it, and it works out. So we'll see if this op angle from Panda can help Black control this pace more, or if White continues to control this pace the way they have the entire game.
Trigger discipline from Panda coming through instead of popping the shield, waiting on it to fall. There it is not cleared out, but the trigger discipline may be showing a little, lacking there, where instead of finding a kill or waiting to see if you get more than one, doesn't get any. Still able to get one onto Rax, trade that back out. And Kevin has already pushed up the top mid here. Decided to go for the smoke, now has Spike control. Now Rags gonna try to grab the Spike without peeking. But Kevin knows what that means. There's the spam there, not finding anything. But great shots from Kevin. That's 3 on the round. Evens it back up at 5 apiece here, and this is a half of Valorant that is far different than what we saw in map 1.
Yeah, for sure. We also have to look at, while this timeout's happening, I have a little bit of time. We talked about originally that there was when White attempted to up the pace, Black matched that pace, right? So we've been talking about pace a lot this game, and what we saw from that round was when Black, I meant to say, got the opportunity to increase the pace and thus increase the pressure, they did, right? That is a really aggressive angle for Kevin to take there, especially by himself with the man advantage, right? Because they had picked off Viper mid. We see that man advantage come out for Black, and Kevin pushing up there is that attempt to control that pace, right? And he's attempting to cut off that rotate, kind of stall them out, and it worked successfully. But there's also been times this game where it hasn't worked that successfully for Black, where White has had a better time at controlling that pace. And I'm really interested to see how that'll change once Black gets on defense, right? Because they've been playing so aggressive now. Will that translate to a better offensive half, or will it lead to early engagements that aren't as favorable for Black? Anyway, so 2 rounds to play in this half.
And anything can happen, as you could see. Wizard Hat leading the lobby with 14 kills, but MSU White, a little bit of a broken economy going into this one. And I think you made some great points discussing pace of play, especially Kevin in that last round as he picks up 2 here and blinds his way to safety. I'd like to pose the question, because if you're in your open lobbies playing ranked and you see someone walk up mid by themselves there, if they get 2 kills like Kevin did, then you're making the praise. But if they push up and then die there, you're immediately thinking they're throwing or they're inting. So, what do you think goes into making that call if you're Kevin? Do you think that's confidence? Do you think that's just, timing? What would you say as we see a couple of kills coming back by way of MSU White?
I think that's the difference in communication level between your average ranked game and your average ranked game. In these games where it's a little bit more organized, is you got that info from Panda, right? You know they walked up long, but they fell back. So you can gather that there's a good chance they go mid. So the call comes out with the man advantage. The round's still winnable, right? In a 4v4, especially if you think you have better mechanics. So it's a risk worth taking in an attempt to win the game. And I think that's important to consider. Is the risk is worth it for that? As Nonstop hits an amazing shot through the smoke there with the lineup.
Utility usage there. Has the lineups. You commented on it beforehand. Watching the VCT, has the lineups in his pocket. Able to get not only the smoke, but also the molly, so to speak, the snake bite, down that decay into the increased damaged tick, able to take down one, and then the nice phantom shots long range, able to take down the last, and pulls it back ahead in the last round here before the first half. I really appreciate that insight. Like, I think you're 100% correct in the communication for these teams are huge. As we see Clover taking down Yusk as Kevin immediately trades out back in the map. But the communication between these teams, it quite literally can make or break a round. And as we see here, you hear the Armageddon going off as two players for MSU Black has already gone down, and Nonstop is planting that spike for this first round in the first half. The Viper Pit comes through as well, as long as Nonstop is not spammed out here and does get the kill on Dank. This is now going to be a very, very challenging retake. We do see Panda on the flank, however, has an opportunity for a timing here. Solace as well, able to blind themselves in. There is the timing, takes down Rags. Clover hasn't quite turned around to chase it. The Vandal upgrade from the Spectre as well. Solace clearing out outside of the Viper's pit, and now it comes through. Nonstop, good for one. Snakebite deters Panda for the moment. Is able to take down one. Last round of the half, no point to save. I think they realized that a little too late, but stunned and does go down. Wizard Hat goes down to the spike, but Nonstop last alive. You're up by 2 at the half, going to this defensive side, and I think if you're MSU White, this is pretty much everything you could have asked for, bouncing back from map 1.
Definitely, it's a very good bounce back there. This map does tend to feel more attacker-sided, especially with that B long. So we'll see if they can continue. Again, a lot of pace talk but if they can control that pace, especially that B long space, we'll see. They should have a good time on defense if they keep playing the way they are. I think this could very well lead us to map 3. I'm excited for this next half. And I'll toss it back to you to commentate this shorty round.
Yeah, instead of the knife fight, we're doing shorties one more time. And it looks like MSU Black going for a 1-3-1, sending 3 mid, but 1 towards B, 1 towards A. The utility is allowed, and the double team takes down Rack. Nonstop blind and dancing around the box, staying alive for the moment. Clover coming through, has the shield and gets a little more. Is able to take down another. Solace with a little help from a teammate. It's 3-3 here as Solace takes down Clover, make that 3 on the round. And now Kevin, sneaky beaky like, able to take 2 down with 2 shots. Pulled out the knife. I thought we were gonna have a little knife in the back action. However, is with 2 HP, gets 2 kills on 2 shots. So that is a little extra economy. I don't believe there was a spike planted that round, but brings it back to within 1. We like to have a little fun here. Again, this is a show match. Nobody's playing for money, as far as I know, at least. So Kevin with 18 in the lobby, Wizard Butted 16, the 2 top frags for each team. But now that the sides are swapped, we'll have to see what MSU Black has planned for this offensive side. We do see some SMGs in hand. And it looks like the play is going to be A all the way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're seeing the Cypher lurk up mid. I do like that. Cypher lurking up mid. On the side of the attack. This little rat angle on this wall is something that I like. It's a creative play. It didn't work there, unfortunately. It got sniffed out, and this leaves Clover in a 1v4, which is winnable. I mean, he does have that shield. If he can snowball this shield, we're looking at a very winnable round. But unfortunately, Kevin with the timely swing there to get him there.
And that's a little bit more of that communication, like we talked about. You know, the artillery from Tejo forced the defender out of position, knew that they were going to be on the move, weren't going to have that zero, accuracy loss from standing still. Was able to force the swing, gets the kill, and I'm actually being told this is a show match. And although there is not money on the line, it is a league match. So it is for glory and for league bragging rights. So do keep that in mind. But MSU Black, a very, very strong round there into some pistols. I also liked the ratty angle from Nonstop, but gave himself away chasing Panda as the jet dash out onto site, and then between the blind, the smoke, his own wall, and the stealth drone, just a little bit too much to overcome in the face of all of that adversity. But we do see a little bit of a delayed pace in MSU Black here. The dog takes out the tripwire. And with the run and gun, sometimes the bullets just don't go where you want them to, but all the kills are coming away by MSU Black. And now Clover, Clover and Wizard Cat left, is able to take down Kevin, got a little overextended. Clover good for one more, does have that double tap online. So holding themselves together, able to see that shield, but doesn't have the angle for the headshot. I have to see if Wizard Hat is able to sneak this out. Doesn't have the health advantage. Able to find the headshot on the Wizard Hat through the crouch. Panda follows up. And although they took down 2, MSU White does fall and relinquishes the lead for the first time this map.
Yeah, I mean, we see the Viper and the Cypher playing the same site there. So we have both of our heavy anchors, and we have the rest of the players playing kind of around the map. I'm personally, I like it. It didn't work there. I personally would prefer one play B, just out of the idea of kind of got the roamers. They are heavy stacking A due to the presence that Black has shown towards A here, but they are going to make the call to go B here. So I'm going to toss it back to you, and you can have fun with this round.
Cover going out.
Yeah, a large lack of presence B, if anything, and it looks, they already were coming in with a bit of a broken buy. We do see one member already going down for MSU White as Rax does get smacked with the dog. Dank Muffin is going to get that plant down. And so, if you're MSU White here, probably playing for exits, you have a little bit of inventory at your disposal if you choose to save a couple of stingers. It looks like one Spectre on Clover. But, I think this is the right call. You surround the site here, play for exits, but Youth already sniffed it out, but not to be outdone. Panda takes down 2 as Youth is going to push up through the own fiber cage. The artillery as well going to take out Nonstop as Clover is isolated, and MSU Black start showing signs of what we saw a lot in that first half of that map 1, where they get on attack and they're controlling the pace of play, and when they decide to hit the gas pedal, MSU White is just kind of trying to hold on.
Yeah. I think what we're seeing here, if we look at our minimap, we can see that Cypher and Viper are kind of shifting. This is the way MSU Black has played these opening rounds. Suggests that was their idea. They're trying to get this Viper and Cypher off of individual sites and force them to play solo. It makes it easier to take the site, obviously. We're just seeing some good opening picks. We're seeing that aggression that we saw in game 1 from MSU Black here. And that's what worked well for them, right? Was that opening aggression, even on that defense. So we'll see if they can keep it up right here. Continue to snowball their lead.
And even here, we see Wizard Hat trying to play the same angle that we saw Solace have so much success with in that first half, but without that util to stall, you just get pressured out. Even if you were able to dodge the artillery, you get paranoid, and then you get jumped on. Clover is investing that ult and is able to take down Dank Muffin. You know, Clover, if nothing else, is going to win a lot of those 1v1s in that ult. But Panda, while back on the map, making presence known, Yusk following up as well onto Clover, even though Kevin is taken down as well. So Kevin up to 24 in the lobby. Wizard Hat was 16, Clover up to 15 as well, and then Yusk and Panda following suit with 17 and 16 of their own. Lots of fraggers in these two on these two rosters, and when all is said and done after this one, MSU Black has extended their lead to 3. That's 5 in a row, and all 5 of the second half have gone the way of MSU Black.
Yeah, we see some aggression out of A main here from the defenders. They're gonna flash. They are going to play aggressive here, just in an attempt to even this up, especially with these worst guns. We're gonna see just another A execute off of those early 2 picks. This should be a pretty secure round for Black, unless they overextend, which a pick on Rax there. We'll see if Black attempts to feed the ace. They don't. Panda with the 4K into that round. You were talking about fraggers on both teams. I think that's one thing that's worked very well for Black, especially in this attack half, is they've been playing aggressive and they've just been trying to frag, right? There's not a lot of heavy util dump. We get the tail missiles to clear out that main part of site, and then we use that Omen util and that Sky util to get our duelist on the site, but we're not really investing a lot of util. We're looking more for those opening picks and then heading towards that weak site.
No, I think you're absolutely right, and you called it there. Panda with the 4K, you know, top fragged in map 1, not to be outdone here in map 2. I say that meets the end of the op from Nonstop, and you know we've noticed a change in pace here and there, but MSU Black has controlled a lot of the pace here. But Nonstop doing just that and stopping MSU Black for the moment. Rags is able to take down Yusk. We see the Cypher utilized there. Rags not able to find the kill on Kevin, however, but Nonstop does. Spike is going to go down, even though most of the kills are coming way for MSU White. And Nonstop with the op is able to take down, what was that, 3 or 4 in the round and get MSU White on the board in this second half.
Definitely a big investment, right? That op, 4,700 credits. However, it worked here. I mean, it's a surprise play, right? They haven't played with any certainty, I would say. White has been kind of uncertain the last few rounds, especially where they're going, but setting that op up long sets them up for success, especially for rounds to come, because Black is going to have to test out where that op is. They're going to have to invest that util, and that was what was working for them so well, right? I talked about how they used little util to get onto the site, and when you use a little util onto the site, you can use more util to hold it. So we'll see if this op plays another big part in this round, or if it sets up to play a bigger part later. Panda with the opening pick.
Panda May felt a little challenge, pulls out the op of their own on this attack side here with the opener. And Nonstop had actually dropped off the op. Not sure if he gave it to a teammate or decided to just go with the Phantom. Popping the early Viper's pit here, not wanting to get overwhelmed before his teammates can get there for the support. Solace knows that Wizard Hat is at least off the side, and the Seeker's invested as well. MSU White, that's 2 ultimates invested. And Panda all alone on B site, makes the call for Kevin to come on over with that spike, playing it for free. And now the Viper's pit was for naught. Use does go down, so Nonstop is able to even up the numbers. Wizard Hat takes down Solace as well, but Kevin takes down Wizard Hat before Clover could swing. Now, numbers are still by the way of MSU White, but that op hiding down long. Actually, no. Backside with the knives. Panda playing closer, probably trying to bait them in with that op. And there's one headshot, and that's what those knives can do. Trying to hit the taps, not able to get it. The stealth zone pops, but does not find. Clover good for one, non-stop the other. And off the back of two ultimates invested on the other side of the map, MSU White able to take the op out of Panda's hands and win another one in a row.
Yeah, I think we saw some good patience there from White, right? They knew where they were going. They heard the Omen ult. They predicted the rotate. I mean, we just saw a lot of cohesion from them, right? They 3-swung out of link there. There's not really anything I would have done better there. You kind of shut down the op. Panda with 2 unfortunate misses on Clover there. You can put it down to Clover having good movement. I think I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I think I'll say Clover had some good movement there to dodge those op shots. Panda with that one nasty knife kill. Not enough to keep them in the rounds. Unfortunately, I've got to wonder if maybe the bomb plant spot wasn't the most ideal, right? Because we do have most of B site. We can plant for that long angle and then shift that op long and then maybe have the Teo play more aggressive back site. But honestly, I don't mind the play from either team. I think White played that great. I think Black did what they could. It's unfortunate they didn't win. But we'll see what happens, what they're cooking up in this timeout, and how they adapt to the fact that the other team is also now using an op and trying to sniff that out and figure out where that's going.
Look and see, Panda did have the money to do so, choosing instead to go back with the Vandal, but nonstop sticking with that op. 15 kills this map and looking for more. But a lot of early aggression down mid is MSU Black. They've split mid. No one was called out. The dog comes through. They know Sky's at least on site. But the Cyber Cage holds him off for a second. Panda not able to find those headshots onto Wizard Hat. Nonstop, however, does find Yusk. The op is still reigning true. So does find the straggler, and now the op can pressure through from behind in mid. Spike does go down, however, as MSU White was a little slow to regroup to contest site. Deciding instead to go for the retake. Only ultimate available for your defenders is Omen. Nonstop grabs the Vandal and takes down Panda before being taken down. So the op is out of play for the moment. Do see the artillery being thought about from the Tejo here. You do get halfway, but 3 kills for MSU Black before Clover gets 2 of his own, cleans up Solace and Dank Muffin. That's 3 on the round and bring it back to within 1. MSU White is not out of this yet.
MSU White playing off the back of some impressive individual mechanics there. MSU Black, I mean, good idea, right? They controlled the pace again. They just didn't get the trades they wanted, I think. I think that's what we saw in that round. And then obviously that 1v2 from Clover to kill Solus and then kill Dank Muffin in a row, both with headshots. I mean, you've just got to say wow to that.
Yeah, tip your hat. GG, go next. You're still up 1 round if you're MSU Black, but first to 13, you win 5 in a row, and then you start dropping quite a few here. Nonstop pressured out early from this Cypher. Cyber Cage does go down, is going to allow the wide peek. It's all about timing here, and Yusk has the vital part of the past few. And now MSU Black has pushed through mid. They pushed up really far in the map, but don't have a lot of map control. We do see Yusk making it over towards B site now, but Omen hanging out outside of A.
MSU Black with a pretty regular execute here. Kevin baiting that A execute. Panda behind enemy lines here. Dominant win there. They needed that. It keeps their economy fresh. It keeps their economy up. So we'll have to see what they do going into this last round. MSU White did win 3 rounds in a row, so they do still have that momentum. It did kind of get stuffed with that flawless there. Their buy's a little weak. They unfortunately don't have a lot of money after that round. So we'll see what they cook up. There's got to be some plays here, right? You got to rat in corners. You got to do something similar to what Black did on that one eco round that they won, where they kind of pinched. Only really it works better when they go B, obviously, but doesn't look like they're setting up to go B. We're doing the same play, or at least faking a similar play that we did the round. Yusk still walking up this mid angle. He's done this about 4 rounds in a row now. Just holding it, being a little bit more passive here. I think we're trying to get a timing on one of the people we know rotate through Link when we make the noise A. So he's just going to be patient here. Does look like a pretty simple A execute. We invest the tail ult, so we know where one is. We hear the Viper wall. Kind of run out on the site here. Panda trying to get in.
The abilities and utility come through. We see the blind. Panda still spraying through. Does go down to Rax, however. Use good for 2 to bring it back to even, however. All of this is said and done. The spike does go down. Kevin good for 2. Clover wins the 1v1, is still safe. And now 2v1. MSU White playing to extend the match here. Backs against the wall, and it's just Yusk. Does have the Vandal in hand. The defuse coming through. You have to respect it. And Clover good for 3 to extend it and give us at least one more.
Yeah, big round there. Big ISO ults at the end there to secure that round. Takes Dank Muffin out of the game for a second. While Wizard Hat watches that angle with Rax behind. Obviously, that ISO ult leaves you vulnerable because when you respawn, like, it's a set position on the map that both attackers and defenders can see. So if somebody does push up on you, it is hard to counter that. We'll see what MSU Black does in this last round of regulation. Do they win it out, or do we go to overtime? I don't know. It's a pretty close game.
A little bit of an economy to play with here. No ultimates online for MSU White. The only ultimate for Black is Omen's ult. But slow and steady is the pace of the race here. A couple of smokes put down on B. The Viper wall is invested as well. But the initial action is going to be Solace flashing out through the double doors and bottom of mid. The first kill goes through, but non-stop. Not able to find it, is swarmed as the rest of Valorant Black comes through onto site here. And now it's a 5v2, and things have just gone so wrong so quickly. Wizard Hat is revealed and suppressed, with expecting one from behind. Does get it, does dodge the paranoia. The Guardian can do a lot of damage with the headshot there, but are gonna have to do it. Decides to take the 1v1 here to get Kevin out of it, but does go down. Clover, on the other hand, takes down one, finds a second, but not able to find any more as they go down. And after a nail biter, MSU Black takes map 2 and takes the sweep here in this best of 3.
Definitely an impressive last round there. Only one death. One death? 2 deaths on the side of the defenders there. The side of the attackers there. Kevin doing a great job at dodging those sky flashes and isolating that 1v1. I do like the play from Wizard Hat. Obviously, double flash and then does that, like, you know, obviously we've got the double flash. Kevin doing a great job. I do want to shout out Kevin. 350 ACS, 30 and 16 with 8 assists, 3 first bloods. Panda, also great performance. Great performance all around, honestly. We're looking at some good gameplay there. Dank Muffin again with 10 plants, even without playing that Gecko. We still see those 10 plants.
Absolutely. Great performances from our Valorant Black and Valorant White team from MSU. We're going to kick it to a short intermission, but we will be right back. So don't go anywhere. Maybe grab some water. Maybe go use the restroom, but be sure to keep the tab open, keep us unmuted, and be back in your seats in like maybe 45 seconds, and we'll be back a little bit after that. See you soon.
I'm Will Bratton, president of Mississippi State Esports. MSU Esports is a student-led organization that competes across the country in the fastest-growing competitive scene in the world. Our team is proud to represent this university by being just better, but we can't do it alone. If you want to help MSU Esports continue to grow and continue to win, then donate to our Bulldog Boost campaign today. Hail State!
And we are back with some special guests. We've got the team captains from MSU Valorant Black and Valorant White, Yusk and Clover. Guys, I know it's not every day. I mean, you may scrim against each other from time to time, but it's not every day that you get to play a show match against your fellow MSU teams. So tell me a little bit about how that felt and how you guys feel now that the match is over.
I mean, it's pretty exhilarating to go against your own kind. I mean, that was a very competitive match, probably the most competitive match that we've played against. Even though we won 2 rounds, it wasn't easy. I mean, Pearl, they put up a really good fight, and we kept trying to do stuff, and it wasn't working, and we kept trying to do stuff, and it wasn't working, and it was a really exciting match to play.
Yeah, those were really great games for us and our team. Y'all played a really good game against us. Also, definitely one of our most competitive games that we've ever played. So y'all are really good opponents.
You as well.
Thank you.
It was really crazy, especially with your guys' Sky just kept flashing our team over and over again. I didn't know how to deal with it.
Love the camaraderie. Love to hear it. Now, I've got some individual questions for you guys. First off, Yusk, I would be remiss. This is probably the second or third time I've casted for a team that you're on. And I have to ask if you're willing to share with the audience, where does this name come from? Because it took until today for me to actually understand how to pronounce it correctly.
Where did the name come from? The funny story, it comes from nowhere but my brain. I just was sitting down one day and I was like, I want to change my username. What's a cool sounding, like, short letter username that's gonna sound cool and be cool looking? I was like, Yusk is pretty good. Well, because it was Yuski with an I, and I was like, well, that's a little hard for people to pronounce. So let me change it. Let me go to Yusk, and that's pretty easy. And then I learned that EUSC is how people read it, so I kind of failed a little bit on that one.
I am people, but thank you for sharing with the class. And I will say, now that I know how to pronounce it, I do indeed think it is a cool nickname. Now, flipping scripts here, Clover, I would be remiss if I did not bring up the incredible ISO play in map 2. Now, I also feel like I need to ask, was there like intention between who you grabbed with your ult, or was it first come first serve?
Okay, for some of them, yes, it was random, but I believe the second to last one, I grabbed the Cypher that was hiding in a cubby on B site, so our team could easily enter with no trips, and so he couldn't spam us through that little brick thing.
That was me.
All right, Jacob, I think you've got a couple for him as well.
All right, so I've got to ask. I'm gonna start with you, Alex. We're gonna go with this. I've got to ask, what was the game plan on both knife rounds in the first game? It seemed like you guys were coordinated, like you guys had a game plan. Maybe not so much in the second round, but in the first round, there seemed like there was a game plan for that. I just kind of want to know what the thought process was during that round, and like what you guys cooked up as like a strat for that round, because it did seem pretty coordinated.
Well, so the knife round on Abyss, we were like, all right, we're attacking side. We're going to try... Usually when people knife fight, they go mid. So we're like, all right, we don't see anybody mid. All right, let's have someone go through heaven, break the door, and have everybody grouped up mid, and then someone drop down from the skies and knife all of them in the back. So we were trying to coordinate a little bit there, but, I mean, we just kind of just goofied into everybody and came out on top, because we're just better.
Okay.
Okay. So for you, Blake, for my question is, how'd you guys bounce back for this last game? Obviously a very competitive game. It was very fun to watch. Big top frags from both teams. I mean, you went 26 and 18. How did you guys bounce back? What was the mental after the first game? And how did you guys bounce back from that to play a very close second game there?
I mean, obviously being beat 2-13 doesn't feel good, but we just had to like take a deep breath and just go in for a new game, because you can't change the past, but you can change the future.
All right, well, thank you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
More, go ahead. If you have more, you can definitely keep talking.
Yeah, and that first half of the second really lit us up, but we got back down at the second half. They got 6 in a row. We kept our heads up still, and we made a nice little comeback. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with all the games.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Thank y'all
No
for taking the
problem.
time to talk with us. Thank y'all for putting on a great match here for the viewers. And for those of y'all itching for more MSU Valorant, we've got more coming. In about 45 minutes, your MSU Valorant Maroon team will be going up against the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. So you've got enough time to get a little bit of food in you, do some stretches, and then sit right back down. And we're going to see what the other MSU Valorant team has in store for us tonight.
And on that note, I think it's time to head out. I need to go pee. Anyway, bye-bye.